Hey guys, what's up? Welcome back to my channel and welcome back to a very exciting video. This video is presented by EA Game Changers because as you can probably tell, I am using the brand new expansion pack Sims 4 Snowy Escape. So I did get early access to this pack as usual, and this is my very first build that I did with the pack. So I was kind of learning a little bit how platforms work, and I was getting to know all of the new build and buy assets, so it might be a little bit more choppy than my usual builds just because I had to edit out quite a bit because I was just going back and forth for ages experimenting with new items and new build features and stuff like that. So this is literally my very first impression of the pack and my very first time using it. So obviously platforms came with a new base game update, so you don't even need the expansion pack or the new pack to use platforms. So if you haven't updated your game, go update it right now. We got platforms in a brand new free base game patch, so go get that because that is totally game changing. But I will say, I agonized over this build for ages because it is a little bit glitchy. So I'm not sure if they're going to fix that, but I'll try and explain the glitches a little bit later as they happen. But I feel like maybe I experienced more glitches because I tried to build this kind of Japanese home over a pond and tried to use the pond feature to have like a body of water around it. So that might have contributed to the platform issue. So I'm not really sure. I'm still experimenting, but if you guys have downloaded the new patch, let me know how you guys have been enjoying platforms and if you guys are having a hard time with it or not. But basically, I am creating, or what I'm building today, I'm not using a reference photo. However, I did kind of research a lot of Japanese and traditional Japanese style homes just to get a feel for what it kind of looks like. However, I will say that the build and buy assets that they gave us really lend itself to creating a really beautiful traditional Japanese home kind of effortless. Like, you don't really need to try too hard because the windows and the doors all look very on point with the architecture and the style of the homes and the designs. So I will say that that is a major plus to this pack if you want to make cool traditional Japanese looking homes, or even if you want to kind of make like a hybrid modernized type version. I think that the new build assets, they did a really good job in making them various heights for the windows and the doors, and lots of different color swatches, a lot of nice neutral brown tones, and all of the windows match like the fences and the stilts and all that stuff. Like, all of the wood tones match each other, which is good because I hate it when we don't have matching wood tones. So I can say right off the bat that all of the wood tones with all the build assets do in fact match, thank goodness. So here you can see I've basically just done the basic shape of the home. It's not a very complex shape. It's a pretty basic shape. You can see right here. But what I really wanted to focus on was obviously putting it on a stilt foundation and kind of having this water feature over and around the home to kind of make it look like it was floating on the water through stilt foundations. So I had a lot of fun with that. And I really struggled with the interior. So you'll see that happen later, but I basically spent probably an hour changing color swatches back and forth just because there's so many different neutral swatches with this pack that you can easily just make your whole build like a mishmash of random brown tones, and that doesn't necessarily look good. But I don't know, you guys will have to let me know. I definitely want to do a kind of more hybrid style, modern with traditional Japanese touches in the future, but just for my very first build, I wanted it to be just like full on really traditional, like using all of the items from the pack, as you guys know. So I think that with these new windows, as you can see, what I'm doing here is with the new feature where we can stack windows, it honestly works out so well because all of the windows kind of fit together like puzzle pieces. So you can make different shapes and make different patterns on the outside of your home and mix kind of doors with different sized windows, and they all fit together very nicely thanks to that new patch that happened like a month or two ago where you can stack windows. So I really like how all of those windows are fitted perfectly so you can make those designs and kind of be creative and flexible with it. And I also really love that we got some new landscaping items too. We got that new big red tree and this cool kind of oriental green tree you can see that I put off to the left there. It's kind of like interesting in its shape, kind of like curves a little bit. We also got some new rocks, which I think is nice. I definitely used a lot of rocks in this build just to frame the pond, and I like putting big rocks to frame like water features and stuff like that, just to make it look a little bit more natural. So we got quite a few rocks, I will say, which is, you know, a nice little surprise here. But here you can see I tried to use platforms to make a kind of like staircase bridge type thing to the home. So because it's not Sulani, you can't technically like build a home over the water. So I really just lined the pond around the home to make it look like the home is on top of water. And then I tried to connect little platforms or foundation pieces to make it look like it was kind of like a bridge going to the home. So I don't know. I think it looks kind of cool. I end up landscaping it quite a bit just to kind of cover the edge and stuff like that. But let me know what you guys think of it. It was my very first build, my very first pass through the items. So definitely now that I have a better idea of what the items are in this pack, I'll probably try and use them a little bit more cohesively in my next build, but this one I'm definitely just getting like a feel for it. And yeah, I mean, it's already looking super good, even though there's nothing like architecturally or structurally skillful that I'm doing with my building. Like basically I just made 2 boxes and then put 2 gabled roof pieces, and really the windows and the fences and the swatches that they gave us are all speaking for itself, if you know what I mean. So I think that it's really easy to make a really beautiful traditional looking Japanese home with these build assets. Like they just look so accurate, and I think it's really nice. Like it's something that's super different and something that we haven't gotten before. And I think for me, being of East Asian descent as well, I'm not Japanese, I am Chinese though, I think it's really good that they did go for a more Asian inspired world and theme for this pack. I never really had a problem with the existing packs that we had. It's kind of like this was the type of pack where I didn't know that I needed it in my life until they gave it to us. And then now I'm like, oh yeah, this is definitely up there for one of my favorite packs, just because it's so unique and something that we've never had before. And I just think that we're going to have a lot of really cool, fun builds with this pack. And even if you try and look at it like not from a Japanese or Asian perspective, I think some of those windows and some of the doors could still be super cool to use in like other types of decor, and you can definitely use some of the more neutral swatches to like modernize a build and stuff like that. So I have so many good build ideas that I want to do coming up. Like I really want to do like a ramen restaurant and like a karaoke bar or something like that. So I don't know. I'm just very excited to build some more of this pack. So let me know if you have any suggestions down below of what you want me to build. So you can see we are already onto the interior. So I pretty much the landscaping on the outside took longer than the actual structure itself. Like I said, it's basically just a little fancy box, and it's 2 rectangles, and that's all that it is. So the outside, I definitely put a lot of effort into kind of framing the pond and making that look very luscious and hide the edge. So now I'm working on the interior. So this is where I ended up running into a lot of glitches with the platforms. So I don't know if it's because I tried to put platforms on a stilt foundation. I don't know if it's because I tried to put a platform on a stilt foundation that's surrounded by a pond. Like, I don't know why it wasn't working, but after I put down this initial platform, I ended up getting that to work, but after that I couldn't place down any other walls. So you'll see later, I actually ended up having to put the bathroom outside because I could not put another wall in this build. So I couldn't make another room for the bathroom. It was so annoying. So I think I managed to work around it and work with it well, although it was kind of a nightmare because I really wanted to get this video out and finish a build at least to show you guys. So it was kind of a bummer that I couldn't do the floor plan that I wanted. However, I did manage to get one platform in this build, and I kind of used it up here to kind of section off the bedroom area. I think platforms in general are going to be such a good feature to separate off rooms, especially for someone like me who loves modern open concept floor plans. A platform is a way to section off a room without actually having to put a wall. So if any of you out there are like me as well and also love, open conceptness, I think platforms are going to be such a game changer for us. So in this case, I used a platform to raise up the bedroom area, and then instead of putting a wall, because I couldn't put a wall because it was glitching, I just used the new room divider item. So I think that's it works. And room dividers, it was a good way to use the room divider as well. So here is the bedroom, I guess, or bedroom section. I tried to use as many of the new items as possible, and some of my favorites, my absolute favorites, are we got a new fluffy rug. I repeat, we got a new fluffy rug. I cannot believe it. It's the cherry on top, honestly. We got an Asian themed pack, check, and then it comes with a fluffy rug. You gotta be kidding me. So if you guys don't know, I'm obsessed with the fluffy rug from City Living, and now we got another fluffy rug with this pack, but it's kind of like a kind of curvy looking shape, so it's totally different, and it comes in so many nice color swatches, neutrals, and some colors as well. Man, I am living. Honestly, this pack is probably worth it just for the fluffy rug. Honestly. So I'm pretty happy about that. We also got this cool little accent chair with a fluffy blanket kind of draped over it too. So that looks super comfy and cozy. Perfect if you want to make a winter cabin or something like that. And yeah, honestly, really, really great items here. I will say that something I struggled with is, and this is going to sound weird because I love neutrals, but everything is just very matchy and very neutral. So for someone like me who, obviously I love neutrals, but I just found it a little bit difficult on how to match up the colors, if you know what I mean, because there are no colors. So I had kind of this reddish brown trimming on the home and on the windows, but then on the interior I went for a kind of light brown beige kind of color scheme. So it was just really hard because nothing really looked right, and I wanted to keep it kind of full on traditional Japanese furniture. I didn't want to add too many modern base game pieces. I wanted to use strictly the new pack. So it was just a little bit, I don't know, you'll see I end up making a lot of changes, and I go through a lot of different phases and having a crisis about all the items and the color scheme. So I think I ended up going full on warm tone reddish brown throughout the entire build, and I think that was the right choice at the end of the day. My next build that I'll be posting either today or tomorrow is very light and neutral and beige, and the complete opposite of color spectrum of this one. So I had a chance to kind of experiment with various neutrals and use the items in different ways. And you can really see how if you just change the color swatches of everything, the build completely transforms. So I don't usually go for a reddish brown like this. So I don't know, kind of nice, kind of interesting. And you saw earlier me doing the little outdoor bathroom there. Yeah, super annoying. I'm so sad that I wasn't able to do like my actual floor plan that I wanted, but I mean, I think if you download this home, maybe you can try and fix it. I'm not really sure what I did wrong, but c'est la vie. That's like the thing also is as we get more advanced in our building and as The Sims evolves to doing all these different things, I say it all the time, but The Sims has changed so much since like 3 years ago. Like now we have terrain manipulation, we have stilt foundations, we can change, like stairs can curve, we like there's just so many things, like I can't even name them all. Like the windows can stack, like the doors and the windows can be placed on half tiles. There's just so many different things that eventually it's gonna get more glitchy because like it's just so complex now. So I guess that's the one downside of adding all these new features is how do they, overlap and how do they affect one another, and it just becomes a little bit buggy, I guess. This is the first time that I've really experienced like crazy bugs that have like not allowed me to do what I'm trying to do. Like usually I can work around it, but this time I just couldn't work around it. So I ended up putting the bathroom outside. So bummer. But here you can see basically the floor plan I had to improvise because I couldn't add any other walls. So I did a big open concept kitchen right here against that back wall. I changed the color of the counters like 5 times, so don't get too attached to that brown color there. I changed it for sure. But I do a big open concept kitchen back there with this large bar seating. I do a kind of seating area, lounge, living room right here. I didn't end up putting a TV just because there was no place for it to really go naturally. And then over in this room, like I said, this is where the kind of raised bedroom area is. And then I decided to put the little like dining hot pot family style seating area here so they can come have their hot pot and they kind of sit on their cushions on the tatami floors. I tried to do a more traditional looking like tatami mat pattern on the floor too. And yeah, I just thought that this room was a little bit more cozy, a little bit more like friend oriented or family oriented for them to come and spend time and sit on the cushions here to eat. And then in the main room, it's kind of a little bit more open and you sit at the bar or sit at the island there instead. So I don't really know what kind of sim lives here. Maybe like a sim couple or maybe a sim that, works a really good job and they live alone, but they have this nice, big home all to themselves, all this space for like their friends to come over. I'm not sure. So you guys can kind of make it whatever you want, customize it how you want. I usually try and make my first video or my first build with the pack like semi-generic, so you guys can kind of take it and do whatever you want with it. But yeah, this is kind of the color scheme I settled on. I went full on with the like orangey brown, and you might think like that's too much and probably not the move, but I was honestly at it for like 30 to 45 minutes just changing every single color swatch. And I didn't want to make it all white. I was so close to making it all white because you know me, but I didn't. I made it orange, and this is probably the last time I'm ever going to make it all orange. So I hope you guys are excited for my next build because that one is definitely more my style. It's very light and beige and neutral and a lot brighter, and I think it looks a lot, I don't know. I like this one. I mean, it's all very matchy-matchy, so that's a little bit like meh, but I didn't want to mix too many neutrals because we have the orangey wood tone and then we have the reddish brown wood from the windows and then we have the neutral brown on the floors. Like there's just so much neutral going on. So I feel like going all out with one type of wood was kind of a good idea. So I don't know. Let me know what you think about it. If you do download this, you are free to kind of change up the wood swatches here and there, but I wanted to showcase the items as best I could and kind of show you what they look like in action, show you that they actually all match too, so that's always a plus. But yeah, again, in the next video I also like managed to get the platform issue solved a little bit, so I hope that they do resolve some of the bugs that have been happening with the platforms. But besides that, let me know what you guys think of the new pack. If you guys have seen any other videos on it, let me know what you guys think of this build. I really am super happy with the exterior. I think it looks very You know, it looks really all out, full on. I tried really hard with the landscaping, and I think it just looks really beautiful, and overall a pretty good representation of what this pack has to offer and how beautiful you can make your homes look with this pack, which is honestly the most important part. So I can't wait to show you guys more builds with this pack. I'm also going to be streaming it on Twitch, so link in the description if you guys want to come build with me live on Twitch, and we'll build with the new pack. But besides that, the screenshots should be rolling, which means that this video is over. So please let me know what you guys think of it and if you guys are going to be buying the new pack. But thank you guys so much for watching this video. If you guys enjoyed it, don't forget to give it a huge thumbs up and leave a comment down below what you thought about it. And if this is our first time meeting, don't forget to hit that subscribe button if you want to be friends or if you want to see more Sims 4 videos. I love you guys so much, and I'll see you guys all in my next video. Bye everybody.